Hey, you guys, coming back with another video. I'm so excited to be back on live. I've been very, very busy, for over a week or so, incredibly busy. But what I want to talk about in this video, guys, is ways that I tend to increase my revenue on a monthly basis, guys. And I don't talk a lot about this because I guess it's really not the main bread and butter as to like what I do in business. But I wanted to kind of come on and talk to it, kind of give you guys a little insight on what I think you probably should be doing for those that's maybe in residential cleaning or those that might be in commercial cleaning or whatever niche market of the cleaning industry you in. It's some things that you can do to increase the revenue, right? And it may be a one-time deal, right? But an increase is an increase, right? If you can get these servers set up on a more like consistent basis, that'd be a beautiful thing if you can get it set up that way. So I'm gonna definitely go into it. First and foremost, I took a few notes. I want to get this right off the bat. I want to thank a few people that joined my coaching program. Leonard Watson, Tamara White, um, Christy Crenshaw, and Omari Ali. Okay. Again, Leonard Watson, Tamara White, Christy Crenshaw, and Omari Ali. I want to thank you guys for definitely joining the coaching program for my annual coaching program. I greatly appreciate it, and I'm sure it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful thing, a beautiful setup for you guys. Okay. Um, if you have any questions, you have my direct number now at this point, or the direct contact email. You go ahead and email me, or you go ahead and phone me or text me. Okay, for those 4 people that joined the coaching program. Okay, so let me jump right into it, guys, because I don't want to spend a lot of time. If you have any questions, this probably might be my last video. I got a lot going on between now and Christmas, and then I know after Christmas everything is going to kind of take off into the new year. So I got a lot going on. So if you have some questions that we can get off here, feel free to throw them in at any time. Okay, I will try to answer all of the questions before I get off live. Uh, Also, if you want to join my amazing coaching program, the annual coaching program, definitely put coaching in the subject line. Email me at hollywoodjanitorialserve@gmail.com, hollywoodjanitorialserve@gmail.com, if you're definitely interested in some coaching. Okay, we definitely get you set up. Okay, so there's a few things that I do on a monthly basis. Okay, I'm starting to use like AdSense more. I got a guy that we hired on that's handling like my Google AdSense, and that I really, to be honest, guys, I probably should have been doing that a long time ago. I had no idea how effective Google AdSense would be, right? For my business, on the commercial side of my business. It is extremely effective, okay, using Google AdSense. And the way my internet guru, my internet guy, the way he does it is perfect, right? It doesn't take a lot of time. He knows what he's doing. I'm learning along the way, but it's a beautiful thing. So if you can do Google AdSense, Google Ads, it's a beautiful thing. Number two, Facebook. Facebook sponsor ads or Facebook ads. If you guys are not doing that, you guys, and you have a little budget, it doesn't even take a whole hell of a lot of money either, guys. I mean, you could just set a budget and just kind of play with what you can afford. You get some traction going, you get some calls. If you get some calls and you're not closing the deals, guys, then it might be maybe your offer maybe a little too high. Maybe you might want to have like an irresistible offer. You want to have something going that make them that make them feel like I want to go ahead and hire you guys for service. Okay, because there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to close them once they call you from any of your advertisements, right? Whether it's postcards, whether it's you're going door to door, whatever it is, you should be able to close them, guys. If you're not able to close them, you're probably coming in a little too high on your estimates, on your offers, right? I like what we call an irresistible offer. Okay, that's sometimes it's a package deal. I'm really big on the package deals. I don't do it all the time, but package deals is one way that you might want to go. because people like options. I talked about this on many other videos, guys. If you get a chance to do some package deals where you can say package A, package B, package C, right? You can have a set little thing for package A, right? General cleaning. Then package B, you might have general cleaning plus XX. And then package C, you have general cleaning plus XX plus XXX, right? So that's just a little bit more. That's why the costs in those packages are a little bit more, right? Package A is going to be, just your basic package, right? You're going to charge whatever your basic rate. Now, this is up to a certain square, the square footage, okay? So this is kind of how I like to do it. I usually like to use up to 5,000 square feet. You can use up to whatever you want to use, okay? But just make sure that you're compensated within those package deals, okay? Make sure they totally understand that. But so here's the ways that I like to build the revenue up or shoot my revenue up on a monthly basis. Number one, I go after, if I'm being all honest, I go after property management companies now, right? Because I get really excited about property management companies because they have not only commercial properties, but they have residential properties. Okay, so it definitely keep my staff busy. Okay, and that's a quick way to really grow your income massively, right? So if you're under a property, you got like maybe 2 or 3 property management companies, right? And you're under, let's say 3 property management companies, and they have companies and they have commercial properties, or they have residential properties out there. You guys can make a ton of money, right? Because you're going to charge by each deal, right? Each deal is different. What you charge for a commercial, you're not going to charge for the residential, right? But it definitely will keep you busy. You'll have that revenue coming in. So property management companies are companies that I kind of go after now. I go after bigger deals now, right? Now I still do the little dentist offices, and I go after those guys. I feel like I can get those in my sleep. Okay, I don't charge a whole hell of a lot. It's really easier for me to get in a chiropractor, to get in a dentist office. It's been times that I swayed them to fire the company that they have. And I didn't do it like where I was pressuring them like a hard sell type of thing, but the offer was so irresistible, right? So in their head, they know what they're charging. They know what's going on in their head with the company that they have already. And then I come in with this irresistible offer. It sounds good to them. They say, okay, let's do a walkthrough. We do a walkthrough, turn in the numbers, and they hire us. Okay, now I don't get everything, guys. I don't want to act like I get every contract, but I seem to get those contracts a lot quicker, right? Revenue is revenue. I tell people, start with the small to medium-sized stuff. If you're more seasoned like myself, or I got a lot of subscribers on here, they're up 10K already, right? They're up 5K, 6, 7, 8K, right? So they're making, a nice little piece of change. Now you might want to go after bigger deals. But when you go after bigger deals, guys, what you want to make sure you do is you have the manpower for those deals, okay? You want to make sure you can cover that. There's nothing worse than going after a big deal. You're signing on a dotted line. They sign on a dotted line. You're dating and all of that stuff. The paperwork is done. You're ready to go, and you don't have the proper people that you can train and put in these facilities, okay? So that's why I always tell you, always be accepting applications. I do have the employment course. If you guys are interested in that, you don't have to buy, you can. It's up to you. Just put employment course in the subject line in the email, HollywoodJanitorialServe@gmail.com. It's up to you guys totally, okay? But like I say, there are certain things that I do on both the residential and the commercial side. Now, you don't hear me talk a whole hell of a lot about residential, because that's not my area. We do residential, and I usually just market that on the internet. My residential clients usually come through word of mouth, guys, okay? Now, there's other things that I do that I talk about on the coaching. If you're on my coaching, you probably already know what it's about. But there's other things that I do to be able to get that traction on the residential side, guys, okay? You have to get the coaching to figure that out, okay? But what I will tell you is that the way I drive my revenue up, DJ, what's up? Focus of 2020, employee on board. Let me see here. Employees up. Speed up so we can get bigger jobs. Yep, there you go, DJ. Yep, bigger jobs is the way to go. If you can get those bigger jobs, those industrial jobs, those factory jobs, plants like this, right? Those multi-billion dollar contracts. If you can get those type of deals, right? If you can get those type of deals going into 2020 or even before 2020, guys, still got a few weeks. It might be a little harder now because people are seeming to take the vacation now, right? Which is what I'm bumping up. I got to go up to Saginaw, Michigan. I don't know if I have anybody from Saginaw here, but I'll be up in Saginaw, Michigan, this coming weekend. This coming weekend, I'll be up in Saginaw. Saturday and Sunday, I'll be leaving back Monday, because again, I'm always looking for contracts, right? I'm all over the Michigan area. We're going to be branching out into Grand Rapids in the top of 2020. We're going to be going into Grand Rapids area. I do work out of Benton Harbor. For all of my Michigan people, they probably know where these areas are. Okay, so again, like I said, I'll be up in Saginaw. We're going to be closing in on a deal with that. This is an incredible business. If you guys haven't got in yet and you haven't got your feet wet, you haven't got any training, you haven't really used the information that I put here on the videos and different things like that, guys, you are missing the boat. Every single day, there's a cleaning company starting up somewhere around you. I promise there's a cleaning company starting up somewhere around you. And they're getting contracts that you would have gotten had you did what they've done, okay? If you're watching me, guys, go ahead and make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Let's get those likes up, guys. Let's get those likes up. I want to kind of get you guys energetic. I want to get you guys ramped up, get ready to kick your 2020 year off with a bang. I'm going to share a few things that I do to help raise my income up, okay? And this is more or less for the bigger contracts. You can use it for your small to medium-sized contracts, but I find for the biggest, I'm able to sell them a lot better for the bigger contracts, okay? Even under the property management companies. You got a property management company. Once again, guys, for those that just hopped on, I pick up a lot of property management companies now, right? And then we work under those because property management companies own commercial properties and residential properties. They have commercial properties and residential properties. So the same thing that whatever I would charge for, let's say a commercial building, I won't necessarily charge for a residential home, right? A condo or a duplex or a flat, a two-story home or whatever. I won't necessarily charge those things, right? A lot of these homes are vacant right now, right? So we go in, we spruce them up, we get them together so they can get ready to put on the market for a tenant to move into. They do whatever they have to do. This is how I capitalize on this type of stuff. Okay. Now, you guys know I have contractors. We do a lot of this stuff in-house, but I find it very, very simple for me just to outsource a lot of this stuff, right? I have the stuff for the windows. We outsource the windows now. I used to have, a staff of people to do the windows, but now I outsource all of this stuff that I'm about to explain to you guys, with the exception of parking lot cleanup. I use my own people in-house to do that. But here's the deal. When I'm in these bigger contracts, I notice dirty windows, right? I notice dirty carpet. I notice maybe, some bugs, or you might see some water bug of some sort, or some type of whatever going on, right? A roach, whatever the case they have, right? You might see mice traps with droppings. So if you see that, you kind of know that they may have mice around, right? So I don't offer these services directly, meaning my company, we don't physically do these services. But I have contractors that love the shit out of me, okay? Again, you put them under the contract, and we're going to talk about contracts too, because I ran into a situation, and I want to talk to you guys about it because you might run up against this situation, okay? Now, window cleaning, carpet cleaning, parking lot cleanup, extermination, and painting. When I'm in a building, more or less, let's take painting. When I'm doing like a home or something, right? We're cleaning a home. Sometimes what they'll do is they say, well, Fabio or whoever, do you guys offer painting services? Do you do painting? Because my upstairs, we need to paint, or whatever the case is. We don't turn down any revenue, because again, I already have my subcontractors that handle this stuff, my vendors or whoever. I already have them under contract. It's just a matter of a phone call right now. I like to put them on the contract for a year. Okay, I like to put them on a contract for a year, so we don't, every month, every so many months, you don't have to keep doing this paperwork. Put them under a contract for a year, 70-30. Again, I'll bring them we do the advertising, right? So we use Google AdSense, let's say for an example, or we use Facebook or whatever medium, right? We direct mail, however we do it, right? So we bring them the client. Now, this is the client that they wouldn't typically have had it not come from us, right? Had we not brought them the deal. Now we pay them 70%, so that's enticing within itself, right? Because they're getting paid way more. Again, I got this contract, whether it's a home, whether we're under a property management, whether we're doing just a industrial building like this or some type of factory or whatever. I'm going to continue to make revenue on that month after month, right? So I'm not so much pressed about getting the big majority of it. Now, some people might disagree. You might see some other YouTubers, they might say, well, I don't kind of I disagree with them right there. And that's fine. It works for me and I'm still building revenue up. Okay. So I'm not looking when I'm telling you guys dealing with your subcontractors, right? Your vendors. Okay. The reason I pay them more is because they're doing the work. Yeah, it costs me maybe a little money or whatever to do the advertising or to upsell something, right? So let's take this building for an example, right? So they have carpet in here and all of this stuff, right? Administration area, people drop coffee, they spill Kool-Aid, whatever the case is. So if I notice that we see in so many spots throughout the place, it might be an advantage for me to give them, a offer for carpet cleaning, right? So the way I like to do it when we invoice them at the bottom of the invoice, I just kind of keep it simple. You can do it however you want to do it. You can send them an email, send them another attachment, flyer, or whatever the case is. I like to send them an irresistible offer at the bottom of the invoice when we invoice them out. And they usually get back just like that. Again, we don't have so many problems because number one, they like how we clean, right? So I barely kind of get any complaints these days, at least in this area. When I check with my people in the South, in Georgia or in Ohio, or whatever the case is, they handle it well, but they let me know what's going on. But in my area, when I go and check on my accountant, I rarely get any problems with anything that's happening. Again, because I got field supervisors. You guys want to put the stuff in place. If you can't afford a field supervisor or somebody to supervise or govern your stuff, then you have to do it yourself. You have to be on top of it. You're going to lose a lot of sleep. I'll tell you that now. It might take an effect on your relationship or whatever the case is, but it has to be done. Okay? It has to be done. So you upsell like window cleaning, carpet cleaning, parking lot cleanup, extermination, painting. All of these services are services that you can offer month after month to different facilities, right? And if you can get them to say, well, we assign on for maybe extermination every quarter, right? So it's 4 quarters in a year. So you would do it every quarter, right? You exterminate just to kind of keep it inside and outside, because they got outside extermination too, where you can do the perimeter of the building. You exterminate that way too, right? So let's say they say we're set up for every quarter. We do it every quarter. Every quarter, I can depend upon that raise in income to shoot up on top of what we currently charge them on a monthly basis. Okay, guys? So this is the way that I kind of shoot my revenues up. Okay, I notice certain things. If we're coming in the building and I see, oh, they got some windows and it look kind of dirty from the outside, we can offer doing the outside and the inside of the windows, right? We remove the blinds and you can clean the blinds. That's a whole nother charge if you're into that, right? Again, I already have the vendors in place. Now, again, this might sound like something that you guys won't get into because you might say, well, I can't even get a regular contract. But I'm talking for the people that's in business, that's been doing it. Find other things that you can offer to upsell because it'll bring your revenue up dramatically. Okay? Dramatically. Even if you're doing lawn care. If you're doing lawn care and you see the tree branches is growing out too much and you don't mind trimming them, right? Climbing up and trimming the tree branches or whatever. Man, do you know how much more money you can make, guys? At a residential, you're doing the snow removal, you're doing the leaf removal, you're cutting the grass, you're edging everything up, you're getting the property good on the outside and in the backyard or whatever the case is. You're getting everything together, but you see these wild tree branches, right? They're falling on top of the cars on the street or whatever the case, whatever the case is. Guys, you can offer to do that and you can make so much more revenue, right? If your company offer that, right? Or you might say, hey, I can outsource that to a tree place, a person that handles, trees and cutting down limbs and different things like that. So it's so much more money that can be made on top of your monthly billing. Okay. The thing that I kind of dislike with the residential side, guys, is you're always advertising for it. Because this day and age, a lot of times is one and done, right? A lot of times people, they'll sign on for a 1 time a week cleaning, you'll wind up cleaning twice out of the month because they cancel twice on you, 2 weeks in a row, or every other week they're canceling. So even though they signed up, what can you do, right? So my commercial income is more steady residual income, right? I'm sorry, guys. It's more steady residual income that I can depend upon, right? That's going to come in. That check is going to come in month after month, right? Week after week, year after year. But over here on the residential side, you just don't know. So you always have to be, it's almost like a car dealer, right? Once they sell you the car, they're not going to call you back in and try to sell you another car. They might try to sell you some other services, some insurance, some other things, right? Some services that could help you with the car that you just bought, but they're not going to try to sell you another car. So what do dealerships always have to do? They always have to keep advertising. You see them on TV, you see them on Facebook, you see them in the newspaper, you see them wherever, right? They always have to advertise and keep traffic coming in so they can keep moving units out, right? So that's kind of the same thing with the residential side, which is why I'm not so particularly happy about that. But it is a level of revenue that I can depend upon on a weekly basis, on a consistent basis. Okay. And a lot of my business comes through word of mouth, right? So once you start doing a good job and people say, yeah, I got this cleaning company, and then the other marketing part that I share with you guys on the coaching, right? Certain things that I do, it helps shoot it up, right? So the phones is always ringing on both sides on my with my business, on both commercial and residential. Now I know a lot of you guys don't like residential, and that's fine. I don't like it, but I offer it. It is a stream of revenue. Okay. So if you're doing residential properties right now, guys, take your time, do some research, line yourself up with some painters, some exterminators, maybe a lawn care service that you can link up with, and you can bring them business, get them under contract, right? They do a terrific job. You can always use them, right? You pay them well, they're going to always be there for you. Okay, same thing with carpet cleaners. Same thing. You get independent. And the ones I like to get, guys, to be totally honest with you, is I like to get carpet cleaners and painters that's been doing it for 10 to 15 years, right? They're not a major company, right? Because sometimes it's hard to negotiate with a major company. But if you got a guy, he has a truck mount, he has all the equipment on the truck already, he's ready to go. He's been doing it for some time, but business is slow for him. He get a little job here and a little job there. You check his background, you check his references, right? You see where, make sure he does quality work. You bring him aboard, you put him on a contract, right? This is just the way I do it, guys. There may be other ways that other people do it. I'm just telling you how I do it. Okay, it just makes sense to do it for me this way. Okay, so you put them under contract, and at this point you can always use them. I would try to stretch it out for at least a year, so you don't always have to do paperwork when you hire them on for a job, right? You don't always have to do it, right? And then after that year, if they like working with you, cool, you sign them over again for another year and kind of do it that way, right? The percentages won't change. They already know what the percentages are, right? You control the numbers though, okay? You give them the estimate, you control the numbers. You can talk with them to kind of get a range, especially if it's a painting job, you're not sure how to charge with painting or whatever. You can say, well, how much would you charge for something like this? Kind of pick their brains and see how much they'll charge. That'll give you an idea of maybe how much they would be looking for a home that size, or whatever, a building that size, right? To give you kind of like an idea. But you don't want those two parties to meet. You don't want your subcontractors to meet with your contact people, right? You got to play middleman, okay? Again, if you're not sure, you can ask them, because they vet, right? Window cleaners, carpet cleanings, exterminators, right? You can ask them kind of how much would you charge typically for that, and then you can put your quote together based on that. But you still have to be able to make a profit, okay? You still have to be able to make a profit. Now, you don't have to do 70-30. You can do 50-50 if that makes sense to you. To me, 50-50 is fair. One party isn't getting more than another. I bought you the lead. You're making at least 50%. You wouldn't be making any percent if I didn't bring you this lead. You already need contracts or customers, right? You don't have a customer base right now that you're doing. You're on the low side. You kind of need business coming in. So 50-50 will make perfect sense for somebody that's been doing the business 10, 15 years, right? They're not a major company, or not a big company, but they have all of the equipment. They have everything that they need. Those are the people that I go after. Okay, and people might ask, well, Fabio, where do I find them on forums? I find them, on the light pole. They advertise, and I call the number. Hey, my name is Fabio Hart with such a, you know, I explain to them what's going on. Hey, let's do coffee. Let's talk about it, right? You do a coffee with them, do a lunch with them, whatever the case is. You kind of talk about it, see where they're at, see if they can give you some references or some people that could vouch for them. You do a background check on them. You want to make sure that they, legit, that they pretty good, right? And you kind of set them up from there. Now, whatever the contingencies of that contract, of that agreement is totally up to you guys. Okay, it's totally up to you guys. But again, guys, these are ways that you can boost your revenue month after month. Okay, because again, if you're on the residential side, you're always going to be having homes. Every home you clean isn't going to be a great home, right? It's not going to be just a clean, spectacular place. You are going to bump into some places where you clean and it's going, whoa, jump out because they have roaches or insects, right? Or they have rodents or whatever, right? So it kind of catch you off guard. Again, if you offer this service, right? If you have the manpower, you have the vendor, you have the contractor to be able to do it, you can offer that service. You come up to the place, you notice like, damn, these windows is incredibly dirty. Well, let's see, let me at least at the very least offer and see what they say. You never know. You never know. Again, however you want to do the offer is entirely up to you guys, right? But at least give it a try. I'm willing to gamble with some of you guys to email me back, or if you got my number, you'll call me back and say, hey, Fabio, I was watching that video and that shit worked, bro. When you said do that, like they were saying that they were going to start looking for a carpet cleaning company anyway. They was going to look for an exterminator anyway, right? But they didn't think to ask me, right? And since we already cleaned for them, they were willing to pay us because they liked the way we clean. So they were willing to pay us for extermination. They were willing to pay us for carpet cleaning. They were willing to pay us for painting, right? So again, guys, you have the upper hand advantage, especially when you're already in the building, okay? Or you're already at the home, okay? So again, to just recap what I was saying, the type of buildings that I go after now is the more bigger deals, right? I tend to want to make at least anywhere from 1,200 or better on one deal, right? So I go after like plants and bigger deals. Like it may not be as big as this place, but I like the more bigger plants, industrial type of buildings. Okay. I still go after the smaller guys, right? I still get a few $100 here and there on this account and this, because the shit all adds up. At the first of the month, everybody turning those checks in to you, right? It's all going to add up. You're going to put them in the bank the same way. So I'm not telling you don't go after smaller deals, but I'm talking for my more seasoned people that's been watching me, that has more bigger accounts, that has a bigger little, monthly cushion, whether they $10,000 in or $15,000 a month in monthly billing, or whatever the case is. Those type of people can afford to kind of go after bigger accounts. Again, you just have to make sure you have the manpower to handle that, guys. Don't let me talk you to that and you say, yeah, this sounds exciting. I'm going to charge at least $1,000 for this. I'm going to make at least $1,200 for this. And then you get that contract, but you don't have the manpower, because then you're going to be out as soon as you came in. Okay, so we don't want that, guys. Okay, so that's not what I'm saying. But like I say, get the upselling, get an irresistible offer, and get the upselling some of these servers. Some of these buildings that you guys in right now, if you sit back and kind of think of all the contracts you have, you can say, you know what, Fabio's right, because I did notice that this place have carpet issues, or really they need to get rid of this carpet, but I can at least, at the very least, sell them maybe carpet cleaning service. If you got to do the job yourself, guys, they got videos on the internet, on YouTube, about damn near anything that you need to look up, right here on YouTube. All you have to do is look up. You can find the machine. You can go to the janitor supply house. You can go to like a lot of liquidation places and buy your own machines that don't necessarily have to be new. Mine wasn't new in the beginning, right? You can do a little research online, figure out what machine will be the best machine, buffing floors, VCT floor care, whatever, guys. You can upsell these services, okay? I don't care what you're cleaning. You can clean a hospital, you can clean a gym, you can clean a home, whatever. I don't care. Get to upselling some of these services, guys. I'm telling you, your income will rise up dramatically, right? Because that would be income you wouldn't typically have. But if you notice there's a problem somewhere, You see you're in this home and you notice it's a painting. You say, hey, I know your paint is kind of chipped upstairs. We were cleaning and stuff. I kind of noticed we do offer painting services if you're interested. Okay. Then at that time, you guys can, talk and discuss what's going on, what type of paint they prefer, and this and that, right? That type of thing. You set it up and you can cover the deal, and then you can let your contractor do the actual painting. You can cover the extermination, right? You can set the deal up, you can get the numbers, and you can handle the numbers, the paperwork part, but then you're going to let your exterminator handle the job itself. Okay. So this is ways that I drive my revenue up on a monthly basis. And I do it mostly in residential. Okay. Because again, we always got residential stuff coming in because again, no one really stays. They want a one-time cleaning, or they say, well, we're going to set it up for twice a week, and they don't wind up using us for 2 weeks in a row, and then 2 weeks my people off, right? So again, I got to keep it coming because I want to keep those people working. They have to feed their kids and their rent and that stuff like that, right? So I want to keep them working. That's why I like the property management companies. I love doing apartment cleanouts and apartment buildings, apartment compounds or whatever I'm looking for, right? I like to do apartment areas, right? Because they always have work coming in for sure. You clean this apartment today, you got 2 more on the south side of the complex to do. You have 3 on the north side of the complex to do, whatever the case is. They're always going to keep you working. Trust me. Apartment buildings and apartment complexes that keep you working for sure. Okay. So I like that. Same thing, like I say, with the businesses. If you notice they windows or whatever, you can offer that service. The most they could tell you is we're not interested. But at least you tried. At least you offered it, right? They may be looking for a company to come in right now to do the carpet cleaning, but because you do general cleaning, they just don't have any idea that you offer that service. So you guys can, again, put an irresistible offer together. Make it make sense, right? Make it attractive. That's what it's got to be irresistible. You don't want them to turn you down. You don't want them to say no. Put together an irresistible offer. I talk a lot about that on the coaching. If you guys are interested in my coaching, you don't have to take it on. Don't like to pressure it on anybody. But if you're interested, I only do like the annual coaching and then the hourly coaching. Okay. Just put coaching in the subject line. Email me, HollywoodJanitorialServe@gmail.com. HollywoodJanitorialServe@gmail.com. Once again, in case they didn't hear their names, I want to welcome Leonard Watson. He just joined. Tamara White, Chrissy Crenshaw, and Omari Ali. I want to thank you guys for joining the coaching program. It definitely will be a terrific thing once you guys get to really get started in it. Now, lastly, what I want to talk about, guys, my contract or their contract. And I worded that way for a reason. There has been several places that I attempt to pick up as a contract where they say, we don't want to sign your contract. We have a contract that we want you to sign, right? Okay, so that's where your paperwork come in. Okay, now look, the advantage that I have that maybe some of you guys don't have, and I'm going to give you a suggestion. It may or may not work for you guys that don't have a lawyer, right? The advantage that I have is I have a lawyer, right? So whereas their agreement is totally different than my agreement, I could take their agreement to my lawyer, have them sit down, break it down to me in layman's terms. Obviously, I got to pay him for it, but have him break it down to me in layman's terms. And if it sounds attractive based on the way he broke it down to me, and I see I can make a real nice profit for it, it's okay to sign their contract. Okay, I am here to tell you it is okay to sign their contract if it's attractive, if it makes sense to you, right? If you don't understand it, you can either ask them directly, or you can have your lawyer, if you got a lawyer on a retainer or whatever the case is. Or what I would tell you guys is go to the college. Every college got, well, I won't say every college or university, but they got these areas where the lawyers, the doctors, on campus, you can really take it to a professor, right? He's a ex-lawyer or whatever the case is. He studied law before, right? A clean restaurant, friends, great money. Okay. Yeah. Definitely. Whatever your niche, restaurants isn't my thing because it's to me too greasy, too dirty, too nasty, and I feel like they don't want to pay as much as I feel that the service is worth. So I don't necessarily do restaurants. But if that's your thing, do it. Do it to the fullest. Execute well. Make sure you get your money's worth. Make sure it works. Right. Make sure it's happening for you. Okay. But like I said, guys, it is okay to sign their contract. You can take their contract maybe to the university, see, where the lawyer of the university is, and sometimes you might have students, but I would prefer you guys to take it to a professor, maybe he's an ex-lawyer. Now he's teaching at the local university, he's teaching at the local college. Take it down there, and people like that would love to help you, and they won't charge you anything. They'll show you how to love. Okay. In the early on stages, I did this because again, I didn't have a whole hell of a lot of money to start. So I was just thinking, how can I get some legal help, right? Without having to pay in the beginning, because I just did not have the revenue to pay anybody for the legal help, right? So I thought about colleges. I'm like, well, they might have ex-police officers that's teaching policing or whatever the case, right? They're lawyers and doctors and accountants that's teaching accounting classes or whatever, and they've been in this line of work for some time. So this might be something that they'll be able to help me with. Okay, that's just me thinking outside of the box, guys. You can give it a try. Let me know if it worked for you. I would greatly appreciate the feedback on that, because that's the way I thought in the beginning stages, because I didn't have no other way to go, right? It was either that or risk just signing someone else's contract or listening to what someone else is saying and just kind of going with it and then dealing with whatever comes with it, right? And that was something that I didn't want to do. I have done that, right? Where I just say, okay, let me make this make sense. I pulled out the thesaurus, I pulled out the dictionary, I had to look up certain words online, whatever the case was, right? I wanted to kind of get a synopsis of what this agreement was or what was going on in this particular paperwork deal or whatever was happening. I wanted to make sure I kind of had like a somewhat of an understanding as to what was going on with that particular, contract or whatever it was, right? So again, so that's why I say my contract versus their contract. It is okay to sign their contract, but I will prefer that you use your own, right? Because it's already like catered to your business, right? You already know what it means. You're already comfortable with your own contract. There has been times where someone brought me a contract in terms of they want me to sign their contract, and I turned it down because I was just too big-headed, and I'm like, we got to use mine, or if we can't use mine, it's a no-go, right? And you might be leaving massive amount of money on the table. That's why I say it is okay to sign someone else's agreement or contract, whatever word you want to use, per you understand it. Okay, just make sure you have a understanding. You can ask them, but they might not explain it to you the way it should be explained to you, and you might think you know what's going on in their contract based on the way they explained it to you, and you may still be up in the air about it. Okay, so I would prefer you to try to, if you can, even if it's a one-time, because some lawyers you don't have to have a lawyer on retainer. You can pay them per job, right? You can pay them per job. You can find a freelancer or somebody like that that's freelancing law, right? They understand this in your area. They might be a freelancer, so you can pay them per job instead of having them on a retainer, right? Because you're not going to use them on a monthly basis, right? So again, just keep that in mind. If you guys have any questions, like I said, I got a lot going on between now and Christmas, and after Christmas, things are going to kind of take off. I'll be doing some public speaking, going into the top of 2020. Also, I'll be relocating out of Michigan, guys, and moving where my office is in Toledo. I'll be moving back to Toledo, so I'll be going through that. I'll still be back and forth. I plan to kind of bump my channel up a little bit, have, better camera quality and just a whole shebang, a better light production of the video. If you're on my channel and you notice that you don't see a lot of videos, we have took a lot of videos down. Okay, so a lot of the videos that was up, you might say, well, I don't see this video or this, whatever. We took a lot of the videos down because the more older videos, no one's really scrolling all the way down. They're not really seeing that material anyway, right? So it's not even getting any views, it's not getting any traction whatsoever. No one even kind of know that it exists when you got 500 plus, almost 600 videos on your channel, right? So we deleted a lot of videos, okay? But again, the material is always available to you guys in terms of if you have a question. A lot of my videos, it rehash information that I covered before anyway, so you probably wind up hearing it again anyway, right? If you get on my coaching call, you can always ask whatever the questions is, and we handle those questions for you too if you're on the coaching. Okay, so I just wanted to, I didn't want to take a lot of you guys' time tonight. This wasn't meant to be a 3-hour video or anything like that, what I typically do, 2-hour video. But if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to entertain them right now, guys. I just want to make sure I covered everything here. Yep. So, just to give you guys a synopsis of what I talked about, we kind of talked about just raising your monthly revenue by offering or upselling other services that you may not be upselling now, such as window cleaning, carpet cleaning, parking lot cleanup, right? Or just, outside maintenance. A lot of buildings, they got trash in front of the buildings or whatever. A lot of buildings like this facility, guys, that's part of our bid. We actually clean the perimeter of this building, right? Of this account, right? So that's part of the bid. But most times that won't be part of you guys' bid. You're only going to handle what's on the inside. Okay, now you can offer that as an upsell, you know what I'm saying, like on a quarterly basis or on a weekly basis or however you would like to do it. Or you can just offer it as a extension to cleaning, right? You can say, hey, we running a special now where we handle your outside clean. We clean the perimeter of your building if it's a small building or a doctor's office or it's a medium-sized building, right? You don't want to do a compound like this if you don't even have the manpower to really do it, or if you don't want to do it, or you wouldn't want to do it, right? So you don't have to offer. You can offer that to more smaller or medium-sized accounts. Again, guys, there's a lot of ways you can do it. Okay, I just want you guys to maximize your income going into 2020. The cleaning business is a phenomenal business to get into, guys. Again, a lot of my people that I talk to, I still do a lot of emails. I don't talk to as many people these days because I understand that people just want to talk to me just for the hell of it, right? Where a lot of the answers is right here on the video. A lot of times people will ask me the same questions that I've already answered on video, or I already answered to them, and then they'll come back, next month, and they'll email me and say, hey, can you have Fabio call me? And then I call them, and it's the same thing, right? So now I really only get on the phones when it has to do with coaching, or when it's paid, when it's a paid conversation, when it's paid for me to get on the phones. Okay, otherwise you deal with Jasmine. By the way, I'm hiring a second personal assistant, guys. So I don't know who it is now. I got an idea, right? But I've been looking for a second because right now I got a lot of weight on Jasmine. I'm just so glad she's able to hold it down, but she's only one person. So I will have a second assistant coming on, helping Jasmine with the emails and different things like that. Okay. Also, I'm going to go into doing conference calls too, guys. I'm thinking at the top of next month, right? In January, doing conference calls where that's only going to be with my coaching members, right? That's only going to be open to my coaching members. Here's the thing. Parking lot cleanup is easy to pick up. Yeah, it's very easy to pick up, dude. If you live in the Midwest, yeah, it's very easy. Bro, man, like even window cleaning is very easy to pick up. Very easy to pick up. I'm in the Midwest in Michigan. It's very easy to pick up. It's just a matter of walking in. It's just a matter of walking in the building. You're figuring out who you need to talk to. If it's like let's say a chain company, let's say like I don't know, who can we use? Walmart, okay? So it's a chain company. They're gonna send you to corporate, right? They're not able to make the supervisor or whoever is on the shift, they're not gonna be able to make that decision, generally speaking, right? So they'll say, well, we don't handle that here. You have to call corporate. They give you the number to call corporate. You call corporate. Iron that out, guys. Again, it could be great money in that, right? And it's real simple money, right? But you just got to know, again, you got to just go in there. You got to just try something. You got to be able to be willing to try something, guys. That's what a lot of people don't do. A lot of people, they say, well, I'm not making money with commercial cleaning. I haven't picked up not one commercial cleaning account. But guys, it's window cleaning. Try something. Get some, again, because like I said, when I first got my first contract, guys, that sealed the deal for me. I was getting exhausted, right? You guys heard my story a gazillion and one times, right? I wanted to get a contract in the first 60 days. I wound up getting in the first 90 days. But the first 60 days was grueling because people kept saying, no, I don't need a cleaner. We already have a cleaner. We got in-house cleaning, whatever the case was, whether I was going door to door, whether I was on the phone. But it was something in me that told me, Fabio, you can do this. Fabio, keep going. Fabio, stay at it. Somebody's going to tell you yes. Don't give up, Fabio. And that's exactly what I did. My first contract was $300. And I got people that's on my coaching call that's running rings around me, picking up a first contract at $3,000, just depending on the type of facility, right? $1,000, $1,500. That's a lot better than $300. I think we would agree, right? But again, guys, they're going out, they're doing the leg work. I can give you all the coaching in the world, right? I can give you the whole system from A to Z. But if you don't do anything with the information, you're not going to yield the results that you're looking for. Again, you got to have that determination, that motivation. You got to be willing to jump out there and do it, guys. You got to be willing to jump out there to do it. Like even this past summer, 2019 past summer, I was telling guys, go out door to door. Go out there. Go door to door. Knock doors. Try to pick up new contracts. It's hot across the board. Midwest, South, the North, whatever, East Coast, West Coast. It's hot everywhere. Summertime, right? Go knock doors, guys. I say if you can kill it in the summer and you build up enough business, even if you decided that you wanted to fall back a little bit in the winter, in the fall, winter time, you'll be okay because you're doing enough business that you picked up and that you generated through the summertime. Now, I don't suggest that because then a lot of times you get complacent, you be stagnant, and you become lethargic. You don't get out and you don't do anything, right? So you just depend on whatever you're making, whatever you picked up over the course of the summer, right? So you just kind of get comfortable with that. I think you should always be marketing. You should always be out there doing it. But I'm saying in the event that you didn't do it and that you didn't work as hard in the wintertime, you should make that up in the summertime. So going into 2020, the summer will be here before we know it, right? Summer will be here before, but I don't want you guys to wait until then. You got to make money, right? You got your DBA, you got your EIN, you got all of this, you got your bank account, you got your insurance, you got your workman's comp. Everybody, I talk to them all the time. They be on my coach, I talk to them. I say, hey, do you got this? Yep, I got that. Yep, I got that. I got my bank account. Yep, I'm ready to set go. I order my cards from Vistaprint. Yep. I got my hat, I got my shirt, I got everything going. I'm ready to go. All I need is a contract. I say, well, it's not going to come to you. You got to jump out there and get at it, right? You got to jump out there and get at it, right? You got to try it. Again, I tell people all the time, you got to run your business like a presidential campaign, right? Start with what you can afford first, right? And then once the money start coming in, take a little bit of money and do a little bit more, right? Now, I'm not saying spend all the money. I'm just saying take a little, spend a little. Get some more, spend some more. Get a little extra, spend a little extra, right? The more money that's coming in, the more you will have the market to put in the marketplace for your business, right? To grow your business. But until such time as that happens, you have to be creative. And that's where I specialize at. I talk a lot about being creative on my coach, because again, when you don't have no money and you got the time, you got to maximize that time. You got to make it work, right? Because you don't have a whole hell of a lot of money. So you got to do something with your time because you don't have the money to make up for it. You don't have nobody to hire to do the stuff that you don't really want to do. So you have to do it. You understand? So again, guys, I mean, that's just basic stuff right there. It's just basic stuff. So I do want you guys to kind of put a little of this in action for my people that's kind of vets in it, that's been doing it for a little while, right? I do want you guys to upsell some window cleaning, upsell some carpet cleaning, guys. If if you had a strip mall and you're doing their strip mall cleanouts, offer parking lot cleanup. These especially window cleaning and parking lot cleanup, that's some of the easiest jobs to sell. I swear to God, my right hand to the Lord, that's some of the easiest businesses to pick up. Parking lot cleanup and window cleaning right there, right? Even if you just start with that, even if you say, I don't have the carpet cleaning machine, I don't have anybody to source that out to right now, then start with what you can do. You can watch YouTube videos on techniques on how to do the window, the best squeeze, the best everything right here on YouTube, right? You look at my guy Keith Kelfis. He's from out here. He's the window cleaning guy. I learned a lot from him. I was doing window cleaning before I started seeing him on there, but I learned a lot of techniques from him. Keith Kelfis, right here. He's out of Michigan, right? Carpet cleaning. Again, guys, you don't have to be the mastermind behind this stuff, but you can take the Henry Ford model, right? Ford didn't build the Model T. But Ford was smart enough to hire men who knew what he didn't know to be able to get the results that he was looking for, to get the car built. Okay? So he was intelligent enough to outsource this to somebody that knew what he didn't know. Same thing, guys. Same thing. You should be looking for that right now. You should be looking at, what the hell? Somebody hit me on Facebook. But you should be looking for that right now, guys. You should always be hiring. I tell people that all the time. You should always be hiring. Always be hiring. Always be hiring. Okay? Applications should always be coming in, whether you got contracts or you don't have contracts. Again, like I say, when you have contracts and you don't have any apps, you tend to hire off of impulse. So the first person come in the door, you give them a shot because you need to get a body for this job. But if you're already collecting applications, you're already collecting them. Now you have a stack of applications to work from, right? You have a stack of applications to work from. So at that point, you can kind of go through your applications and see what you want. Okay? Again, same thing with your vendors. You can start looking for them now. Hi, you can let them know you're a new cleaning business, or you let them know you established, whatever the case is. And say, hey, I'm just looking to, build up a vendor list, right? I'm looking for vendors for all sorts of things because I plan for my business to grow in many different ways. And I'm looking for a carpet cleaning vendor. I'm looking for a window cleaning vendor, right? And you can hire a guy that's been cleaning windows and he's basically a professional, but he doesn't get a lot of business. And you could be the reason that this guy income shoots up, right? You put him on an agreement. You want to make sure you have it documented, right? You put them on an agreement, however you guys decide to do it, money-wise, 50-50, 60-40, 70-30, however you decide to do it is up to you. It's your business, right? But I would suggest that you look into that, guys. You don't even have to do all of these services. I'm just giving you the services that we offer. We do the window cleaning, carpet cleaning, parking lot cleanup, extermination, and the painting, right? That's what my company do. That's what we offer, but we have the vendors for that. So if you don't have a painter, don't sweat bullets over that, guys. Just do window cleaning, right? That's something that you can outsource to somebody that's been doing it for some time, or that's something that you can really learn on yourself and do it yourself, and you don't even have to pay that revenue out, right? So again, guys, if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to entertain them. Let me see here. Parking lot cleanup, clean restaurants. Also clean office. Thank you for the tips. Oh, you're more than welcome. Yeah, Anthony, see you on the ball, but I haven't seen you in a while. But yeah, these are ways that you guys can make massive amount of money, right? On a monthly basis, especially when you're dealing with the homes, guys, because they can use you for really all of these services, right? You can clean outside for an extra amount, that'll be your parking lot cleanup, so to speak, right? You can clean outside of the home. You can offer window cleaning. You can offer carpet cleaning. You can offer extermination. You can offer painting. You can do all of those services at a home, right? Same thing with a business, right? Well, maybe the business don't need a paint job. I mean, you can offer it. Doesn't hurt to offer it, right? The most they can tell you is we don't need it. We're okay. But at that point, you can say, well, how about window cleaning? You can offer them window cleaning. I notice your windows is a little dirty. How would you like us to give them an irresistible offer? And the fact that you're already cleaning their building, the chance of you picking up that contract for the windows or for the carpet or whatever the case is very, very high. Okay? But that's gonna do it for now, guys. I'm Fabio Hart. The only person that will ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you. Again, if you guys need coaching for any reason, email me coaching in the subject line, Hollywood Janitorial Serve at gmail.com. Put coaching in the subject line, Hollywood Janitorial Serve. Once again, I want to thank the people that did come on: Leonard, Tamara, Christy, and Omar. I want to thank you guys. I look forward to working with you going into 2020, and we should have a phenomenal year. Okay, you guys take care, and reach out to me if you need me.